Hey everyone, welcome back for another deep dive.
Yeah, glad to be back.
Today we're taking a look at a creature I know a lot of you are fascinated by,
Definitely a fan favorite.
the axolotl.
Mm-hmm.
Now, especially for those of you interested in conservation,
Right.
this deep dive is going to be particularly interesting
Yeah.
because the axolotl is sadly on the brink of extinction.
Yeah, it's really a shame.
And I think their story is going to kind of give us a really powerful reminder of how interconnected all of our ecosystems really are.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So one of the things that I think makes the axolotl so captivating
Mm-hmm.
is this thing called neoteny,
Right.
right? It's almost like they've discovered the fountain of youth.
Yeah.
They just decide to stay young forever.
They did, didn't they?
I mean, they keep their feathery gills their whole lives.
I know, it's amazing.
So for those of us who maybe aren't biologists,
Sure.
can you break down, like, what's the science behind this?
Yeah, so neoteny is essentially the retention of juvenile characteristics
Okay.
in an adult animal.
Gotcha.
So, like you said, the axolotl keeps those adorable external gills throughout its entire life.
Yeah.
And it never fully transforms into a terrestrial form,
Oh, okay.
like other salamanders do.
So it's not even that it's like it could transform but chooses not to?
Yeah,
It was like its body just never goes through that change.
exactly. It's an adaptation
Wow.
that's believed to be linked to the unique conditions of their natural habitat.
Okay.
So think of it this way. Axolotls evolved in a place with abundant water and a consistent food supply.
Okay.
So over time,
Yeah.
they basically just skipped the whole growing up phase.
Oh, wow.
They just hung on to those youthful features
Yeah.
that helped them thrive
Right.
in their watery world.
So it's kind of like they found like a nice little comfortable niche.
Exactly.
They're like, we're good here. We're not going
Yeah.
anywhere.
We're staying put.
But it makes you wonder, how does this neoteny, how does this impact their day-to-day lives?
Well, imagine living your entire life underwater,
Yeah.
breathing through gills, hunting for small creatures in the depths.
Okay.
It's just a completely different existence than their land-dwelling relatives.
I mean, I guess when we think of salamanders,
Right.
we picture them like, I don't know, scuttling around the forest floor.
Exactly.
Yeah. So what is it like to actually encounter an axolotl?
It's amazing.
Yeah.
Imagine a creature about the size of your hand,
Okay.
maybe 6 to 12 inches long,
Mm-hmm.
with a sleek, almost eel-like body.
Okay.
And then, of course, you've got those incredible feathery gills
Yes.
protruding from their head like a whimsical crown.
It's like out of a fairy tale or something.
I know, right?
And what about their eyes?
Their eyes are so cool. They
Yeah.
have these small, black, almost beady eyes that just give them this perpetually curious expression.
Yeah, I've always thought that about them. Like they're just always looking around. I know, taking everything in.
Absolutely.
So you mentioned they come in different colors too.
Yes.
I've
Yes.
seen some really striking pictures online.
Oh, yeah.
What are some of the different colors you can find?
Well, in the wild,
Yeah.
they're typically a mottled brown or olive green,
Okay.
which helps them blend in
Makes sense.
with the murky lake bottom.
Right. Camouflage.
But in captivity, you see a wider range of colors,
Oh, interesting.
thanks to selective breeding.
Okay.
So you'll find albino axolotl
Yeah, I've seen those.
with those striking pink gills,
Huh?
golden axolotls that shimmer under the light,
Beautiful.
and even black axolotls
Wow.
that look like miniature dragons.
Yeah, I can see that.
It's pretty cool.
So it's amazing how their appearance
Mhm.
is just so perfectly tailored to their watery home.
It is.
But sadly, their habitat, the Xochimilco Lake Complex in Mexico,
Right.
it's not what it used to be.
No, it's not.
What's happened there?
Well, Xochimilco was once this sprawling network of canals and lakes,
Okay.
but it's been significantly impacted by human activity.
Right.
Think about the pressures of a growing megacity like Mexico City,
Yeah.
encroaching upon these fragile ecosystems.
Yeah, I mean, that's gotta take a toll.
It does.
And so it's really a classic case of habitat destruction,
Unfortunately, yeah.
which, as you mentioned earlier, has,
Right.
devastating consequences for the axolotl.
Absolutely.
So aside from habitat destruction, what are some of the other threats that
Yeah.
they're facing?
Well, sadly, it's like a cocktail of threats.
Oh, no.
The introduction of non-native fish,
Okay.
like tilapia and carp, has really thrown off the delicate balance of the ecosystem.
How so?
These invasive species compete with the axolotl for food.
Right.
And in some cases, they even prey on them.
Oh, wow.
And then there's pollution,
Right.
runoff from agriculture in urban areas.
Uh-huh.
Contaminates the water, degrades their habitat,
Right.
just making it harder and harder for them to survive.
Yeah, it sounds like they're really getting it from all sides.
They are. It's tough.
You mentioned earlier that the axolotl is critically endangered.
Yes.
And,
It's a scary thought.
it's hard to believe that something that's so resilient,
Mm-hmm.
like we hear about their amazing ability to regenerate limbs,
I know. It's incredible.
that something that seems so strong could be so close to disappearing.
I know. It's heartbreaking.
What does that classification actually mean
Okay,
in terms of their future?
critically endangered
Yeah.
is a classification by the International Union for Conservation of Nature, or the IUCN.
Okay.
And it means that the axolotl faces an extremely high risk
Yeah.
of extinction in the wild.
Wow.
It's basically a stark warning
Yeah.
that without significant intervention, we
Mhm.
could lose this incredible species forever.
That's a scary thought.
It is. It's a wake-up call.
But there is hope, right?
There is.
There are people out there who are fighting for them,
Absolutely.
trying to, turn things around.
Mm-hmm.
So tell us about those efforts
Okay.
and how they're trying to make a difference.
So there are some amazing conservationists, researchers, and local communities
Right.
that are working tirelessly to protect the axolotl.
That's great.
Some are focusing on habitat restoration.
Okay.
So that means cleaning up those canals,
Yeah.
removing invasive species, and creating protected zones.
Okay, so it's like a multi-pronged approach
Exactly.
to really try to improve their environment.
Yes.
And then others are involved in captive breeding programs.
Yeah,
Right.
exactly.
So tell us a little bit about how those work.
So captive breeding programs involve
Yeah.
carefully managing axolotl populations
Okay.
to maintain genetic diversity
Right.
and provide a safety net
Yeah.
against extinction.
So kind of like a backup population in
Yeah,
case
if they-
things go really south in the wild.
Exactly.
Now, you mentioned earlier the role of local communities
Yes.
in axolotl conservation.
Mhm.
So for individuals like our listener
Yeah.
who may be miles away from Mexico,
Right?
can they actually contribute to these efforts?
Absolutely.
Okay, good.
Supporting organizations involved in axolotl conservation
Well-
through donations or volunteering
Yeah.
is a fantastic way to make a real difference.
Great.
Spreading awareness, advocating for responsible environmental policies, and even choosing sustainable products.
Okay,
These actions all have a ripple effect,
I like that.
helping to protect not just the axolotl,
Yeah.
but ecosystems around the world.
So it really is a reminder that we're all interconnected.
We are.
What really stood out to me in learning about the axolotl
Yeah.
is how their story highlights this delicate balance
It does.
between adaptation and vulnerability.
Absolutely.
They evolved this incredible ability to regenerate limbs,
I know.
yet they're at the mercy of human actions that are drastically altering their environment.
It's a tough situation.
It is.
It really is.
So it makes you think,
It does.
can we learn from the axolotl situation
Yeah.
and apply those lessons to our own relationship with the natural world?
That's the big question.
That's the big question.
Yeah.
Well, I think that's a great place to leave it for today.
I agree.
Thanks for taking us on this deep dive into the world of the axolotl.
My pleasure.
It's been eye-opening and inspiring.
Glad to hear it.
And to all our listeners out there, we hope this dive has sparked a curiosity in you
We do.
to learn more about this amazing creature
Absolutely.
and what you can do to help ensure its survival.
Because every action, no matter how small,
Yeah,
can contribute to a brighter future
absolutely.
for the axolotl
Yeah.
and the incredible biodiversity
Yes.
of our planet.
Well said. We'll see you next time.
See them. Bye, everyone. Bye.